Coromon is a great-looking 2022 Pokemon-like RPG by Tragsoft. The battle arenas and battle sprites are honestly gorgeous. Almost how I'd prefer a new Pokemon game. I'm having quite a lot of fun with it, man. Recommend it. But just how are the monsters themselves in terms of their design, origins, and names? Well, that's what this video is all about. Let's go down the list of every Coromon and explain them mainly through their names, as most of the time, the name gets their whole idea across. Number 1 is Cub-Zero, and we're off to a great start. Just look at that. It's a Sub-Zero cub in a snowball. It evolves into Aurora, a snowman bear who roars, and then Borealis, who gains ice armor. Next to each other, their names reference the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. Toruga is a rough little fire-breathing baby tortoise with a rocky shell. Tortuga is Spanish for turtle. Embaval has grown into an ember-spewing volcanic tortoise. With its thick skin and sturdy shell, it embars you. And then Volcadon is the dawn of volcanoes. A dawn is like the boss, but also Odon can refer to large teeth, and thus is common in dinosaur names, hence the Stegosaurus elements added in. Nibblegar is a baby land shark that carries around a golden ring. It likes to nibble, and its tail makes it have kind of a long body, like a garfish. Actually, gar can just mean weapon, especially long, pointy ones like pikes, javelins, pointed sticks, and shark teeth. Sheartooth has sheer teeth, and Megalobite is a big shark, the Megalodon, and it'll take a bite out of you for sure. And we see now that the battle scars and gold ring were to make it look tough, perhaps like a pirate, or just like many older great white sharks, and its fists resemble hammerheads. Swarmy is a little swaddled wormy, a grub, a pupae, a larva. Its armor looks like a hexnut, Beezle, like Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, except it's a bee with sickle hands. And Humby is a bumblebee. Its wings hum as it flies, and it's fast and armored like a Humvee. Silquill is a crow that loves valuable shiny things like gold and silver, and as a bird, it has many quills. Guildwing has gilded wings, which means coated in gold, and Goldbeak has a beak of solid gold, and adds in raptor elements, birds of prey, perhaps the golden eagle specifically. Slitherpin is a Slytherin snake with a little jabby crystal horn. It's like a pin, and Sir Pike is a serpent with a pike now. Houndos is an electric dog with 2 heads. Dos is 2 in Spanish. It's a little ball of energy, as puppers tend to be. Lightning zigzagging back and forth like a happy dog tail. And it's cool to see a monster based on Cerberus that isn't fire type too. It evolves into Houndtrion, a trio of dog heads, like Cerberus. Also, a Trion is a localized excitation which consists of 3 charged particles. It's an electrical physics term that involves 3. Armado, Armadil, and Armadon are all armadillos. They get more monstrous and wear armadillo-like as they evolve. And its final armor looks like a concretion of sorts. Sandscale is a sand crocodile with scales of stone and sand. And Caradune slides through sand dunes with its carapace armor. Cara or Kara can also refer to the head, and its carapace does start at its head. Woo! It's a bitty bolt! It's an itty-bitty kitty that bolts around like a bolt of lightning. Lightning stripes! It's a baby tiger. And now it's a bigger tiger, Toravolt. Tora is Japanese for tiger, and it sends volts of electricity through you. Blobby is a blob, a fiery RPG slime in a way, but a blob of lava with some cooled lava rock armor. Moltai is molten and has a creepy eye. An important note because it evolves into Ashclops, a cyclops that burns things to ash. See, the blob became the eye, and then the armor splits and becomes the pauldrons. Pretty neat, and it looks like a lava ghost. Fiddly, a fiddler crab in a stone, like a hermit crab. It also fiddles about because it itself is fiddly. Uka Claw. Its main body looks like it's a rocky clam, and it has a big claw, the top of which looks a bit like an upside-down utak, a Filipino sword. But also, Uka is the scientific name of a fiddler crab. Moful. It's like a mole weasel. And a molefet is a hole in the ground made when underground gas escapes. Digmo. It's a mole that digs. It's even longer now, oh no. And Dugterra. Okay, it's so long, it's kind of creepy now. It dug in the earth, the terrain. Terra. Buzzlet. It's a little grub, so it's little, and it buzzes about with its electricity going bzzz, Bazzer goes buzz hardcore. It's a rhinoceros beetle that causes a lot of damage, like a bazooka. And Rhinobuzz is even more hardcore, with full-on rhinoceros legs, and the electric coils on its back are always buzzing. The Lunar Pup line are spectral ghost dogs of the moon, as wolves, werewolves, moon, howl, all that, you know. So here's a dog with a skull-looking face and a levitating moon-shaped stone. Lunar Wolf. Well, it's a wolf instead of a dog now, clearly. The stone is a lot larger and looks viable now. And Ecliptor! That's what happens when a guy with like 30 edgy Sonic OCs gets to design and name a Mon. Egad. Well, it's a specter, and I do like its many moons. 3, because 3-wolf moon. It is also said to be an omen, which eclipses are said to be as well. Cryo! It's an I. Does it cry? It's cold, so its tears freeze. And cryo is a prefix that means cold. Cry Peak. The monster is peeking out of its cold ice. And Cry Beast is a beast of a ghost, and it sees with its eye, and it's cold, so it's a beast. Bren. It is an on-fire egg with like a feather nest? Well, Bren is Middle English for burn, and this is the case with other older European languages too, like Proto-Germanic Brunijana, meaning to set on fire, or Swedish Brenna as a doublet of burn. It's a burning egg. It evolves into Pyro Chick, which, while a lot cuter, has a much less interesting name. It is Pyro Chick. Infinix is cool though. It's a phoenix, which are said to be immortal thanks to their power of rebirth, so they are infinite. AC! Oh, that's so cute! It's like a little electron ghosty boyo! And its name is a phonetic spelling of AC, as in an alternating current, a method of delivering electricity, the other being DC, which is its evolution. DC is a bunch of electrons in a thundercloud. I love its face. And then Cureptil? That's a hard combination of letters to start a word with. Cureptil. Cureptil is a reptile, alright, with snippy claws for some reason, and it evolves into Curaptor, a velociraptor of sorts with scorpion claws and a scorpion tail. Huh. Maybe that has to do with the strange Kir start of the name. Skirpion? Well, in Turkish, scorpion is Akrep Burcu, and Akrep Krep Kureptil. Maybe. It's notable though, because the Middle East is where the Aqua Bromelo originated, the Scorpion Man. So just replace the man with a velociraptor, and there you go. It's creative. Gela, a small jellyfish made of water like gel. Gelish. It's sort of gel, just kinda, but all jellyfish. And Geliquad is an aquatic jellyfish with 4 punchy tentacles. Quad means 4, and I love their description. Beware their tentacles filled with a wallop of 10 gallons each. It's Scarbone, because dinosaurs and bones are inherently related. It's got a skull, and the name is almost carbon, which all fossil fuels contain. Skuldra is a skull dragon, and Skeletops is a skeleton ceratopsian dinosaur of sorts. Drupal is a drippy little ghost orb, like a will-o-wisp of water instead of flame. Perhaps also somewhat a simple RPG slime. It evolves into Mudma. Its consistency is quite like mud, and it's able to absorb almost any liquid. Perhaps it's goopy like magma, but mud instead. Or perhaps the name is simply the suffix ma added to mud. Ma meaning a growth or tumor. I mean, look at all those blobby growths going all over it. Arcta is a little icicle elemental. The suffix often means small, and it's Arctic. Arcturus is a much larger icicle elemental with ice crystal hands now, and its name is literally Arcturus, an alternate spelling of Arcturus, which is the brightest star in the Boötes constellation in the northern sky, which is also the 4th brightest star just in general. The name can also mean guardian of the bear, hence it being ice type like the polar bear mon. Seraphace are little spirits with 4 wings, almost resembling the seraphs with their 6 wings. Seraphs are a class or type of angel, and it has a face mask, perhaps resembling a death mask. Masks made to capture someone's likeness after they die. Or a cultist mask, or perhaps simply a mask worn by a cultist or secret society member. Grim Mask now has 6 arm or wing-like appendages like a seraph, and its skeletal, gnashing teeth are gilded, and its prayer beads begin to solidify its look. And its look is grim, dark, like like an idol a cult would worship. It's even got a creepy cult hood, and it's followed with a cute squid. It's Squidma with the Illuminati eye. And there's that ma again. Is this a tumor? Or is it because magma seeps from its outer edge? Probably that, as it evolves into Magmalus, a magical magma magician octopus. Look at its back sprite. It's got its magical wizard's orb of flame. And perhaps in the way real octopus use their ink to create illusionary clouds to confuse their predators, this Coromon, with the beginning of illusion in its name, does the same with illusionary magic. Lumon is an electric firefly larva. Its name comes from lumen, a measurement of light, but mon, because it's a Coromon. Lampire is a firefly, a lamp, a lantern, a pyre, and lumasect. I don't even want to think about how that works biologically. It is a luminescent insect. Patterbit is a cyborg. Bit then refers to bits of data, and patter is an onomatopoeia for a repeated tapping or vibrating sound, like what a small helicopter makes. It goes pitter-patter. In fact, that's its evolution. Pitterbite. It's got a jetpack now, and can understand bytes of data now. Ooh. And Cyberite is the whole deal. A cyber cyborg. Its head sort of resembles fighter jet pilot helmets. Decibite. This time, the bite is literal. This sandworm lives underground, listening to the vibrations or decibels from above to know when to attack. Centilla is a sand centipede or millipede, and it tills through the ground. Millidont? Millidont what? Oh, it's Daunt. It's a millipede with big rocky teeth. Daunt refers to teeth. Ooh, Tattle is cute. It's a tadpole and a tattletale. It evolves into Fibio, who I guess has learned to tell fibs instead of tattling on them now. It's also just short for amphibian, as it's a poison dart frog. And Chonktoad! Chonktoad? Oh lord, he comin'. Look at this chonkerino of a toad, an absolute unit. Ooh, man. Tinshel is a tiny little hermit crab with a tiny little shell. Dunpod is an arthropod who is done with your shenanigans and will shoot you from the sand dunes it lives in. Oh, so is it Dunepod then? Well, dun is also a brownish-gray color, and dunite is an igneous rock, so maybe those. And sandrill drills through sand, and is a very defensive crab. And also, a spandrill is the space between two arches at the top, which, given its shape, maybe? All of its legs look like brick arches. Blizzbird. Brr, it's cold again. It's a blizzard buzzard, a bird. And Blizzion, it's a blizzard buzzard of sorts too. Kinda raven toucan-y though, which is honestly a way cool mix. Ian could come from carrion, which is what buzzards eat, or it can just mean from or related to, and thus this is related to blizzards. Oh! I am a sucker for ghost cats, and Purgy is just that. It purrs, and its sheet has surgy, meaning it billows in motion. Ginx is a ghostly sphinx, or lynx, an adorable kitty. I love this. And Purgast is a ghast who purrs, and is said that it expels ghostly gases, perhaps purging them from itself. Goss slime. Ew. It generates electricity by moving its weird slime around. It must be filled with magnetic particles, like that magnet slime toy stuff. And that would explain the gauze in its name too, a measurement of magnetism. Then Magnamire. A mire is a swamp, essentially, and this is a living magnetic swamp. Quagoo. So a quagmire is the soft land you walk on that gives way because of all the water underneath of it, and they are found in mires. And this is the goo that's beneath it. Swampa. It's a general swamp monster. Perhaps it is old, like a grandpa. Squiddly! It's like a skull with squid bits. And diddly, piddly, tiddly, they all mean tiny or insignificant. And Octottle is now an octopus ghost who's a possessed gravestone. And to tottle is to move around in a wavering and unsteady manner, as it does. Ruptious is just that. Ruptious, meaning contains and is related to ruptures in the earth. It's a volcano golem. And Volbrute is a volcanistic brute, a more intense volcano golem. Moby. Oh, I like its little animation. It's a sand elemental, just a living pile of sand. Its name, though, Luby means an awkward, clumsy person, like how it's all wiggling around. We'll get back to that. Mole bash is the same, but now it has the capacity to bash you. Mole here may refer to the measurement. A mole is an incredibly tiny measurement, used for like atoms and stuff, perhaps referring to the amount of tiny sand particles that make up this monster, that it will bash you with. Or maybe it's because it looks like a mole hill, or it's very moldable. And then Malavite. Well, mal means bad, and given its previous form, it it probably wants to fight you, but now it's just tired, man. It's bad at fighting. Malevite. You can't even say fight right. Is it, yeah, Malevite. Alright, that's dumb. Is its name a play on malachite? A green mineral that occultists and spiritualists believe changes your mood drastically because it absorbs and heals all of your emotional pain? I mean, malevite looks pretty bummed. Could it be in a bad mood? Hence the mal. And then maybe mooby is moody, perhaps. Also boo, because it's kind of ghostly. I mean, I doubt it has anything to do with a man boob. The later two have these blank, emotionless stares. They're kind of dead inside, maybe depressed, hence mooby being moody again. And malaise means feeling uneasy or depressed, so maybe that is the theme. I am unsure. Vite is used in all kinds of minerals, though, and it can also mean lively! And then mal meaning bad, so it's bad at being lively because it's sad. Oh well, spending too long here. We're on the final stretch! Flowish. It's a fish with flowy fins. See, sometimes simple and easy to understand names are good. Darikara. Alright, I love this thing's design. A kara can refer to many freshwater fish in the Cichlidae family, and a dari, or darik, is a Persian gold coin, perhaps referring to its goldfish head and gold cape. Darikara could also be Coromon's take on the Chinese myth of a carp turning into a dragon, hence this draconic body with carp elements. Mino is a minor minotaur. It's just a flaming calf. It smells like barbecue 24/7. It doesn't become a minotaur though, it becomes blazatar. Tauros means bull in Greek, and this one is ready to charge at you with its blazing hot horns. Frova is a little jewel caterpillar coated in an icy shell, which then becomes froshell, a pupa in an icy cocoon, and then glamoth, a very luxurious and glamorous moth. So much fur for keeping warm. Otoji, interesting. It's like the famous red and blue oni from Japanese folklore, but as masks on an orochi body. Orochi being a multi-headed dragon demon. And it adds another head when it evolves into Orochi. And now it's obvious that the heads are just masks, as it's holding on to them with hands, and both names are corruptions of Orochi. A corruption is a purposeful misspelling or mispronunciation. And the name here also makes me think of the word tchotchke, which is like a decorative and or worthless collectible, like how it's holding these masks as just decor for itself. Shimshell is a sea turtle with a shimmering shell. Shells that look like this are common in turtle-themed jewelry and decor. And Atlantern is even bigger. The crystals glow brightly, hence it being a lantern, and Atlant can refer to either the Atlantic Ocean or Atlantis, which in many depictions is magical, like its magic crystals. And that is it for the regular Coromon. But there are 6 titans, too. Like the titans of Greek mythology, the Titan Coromon are elemental creatures of immense power. They contain the pure essence of their type, and the first is Voltgar, a manifestation of pure electricity. It looks a bit mechanical, and parts of it are floating via electromagnetism. Its voltage is vulgar, just like its attitude towards humans. But Gar can also mean to drive or move, or also just refer to weapons, and it moves and attacks with its voltage. Illusion is a manifestation of spectral, ghostly energy. It's got spooky ghost hands, eldritch tentacles coming from the ghost portal, and a genie or djinn tail, all while being illusionary. Sart. I love that name.
I am the manifestation of the grand desert, the shifting sands of time, the forces of nature wearing down your entire civilizations. Fear me, for I am Sart.
It's like a big sand elemental, but its name is Sart. Okay, well, a sand tornado with arms and a floating ceramic head. The name, though, sand, salt, sand, art? Like pottery is an art. Its head is like ceramic. Sart is also just a word on its own, though. It's Middle English, a clearing of land, mostly in the context of agriculture. And what are deserts, if not clearings of land? Holzai is a manifestation of flaming lava, a magma elemental. Bonsai is Japanese for wild or thrill-seeking, and Sai has many meanings, the fitting one being Sai, meaning disaster or calamity, especially especially in the context of natural disasters like earthquakes and volcanoes. The character even looks like the mountain or volcano characters, but with some shaky or smoky lines above it. I love when languages do stuff like this. And with the Japanese context, ho then also has many meanings because Japanese just has a lot of homonyms, but I think the meaning step fits best. It makes hozai a walking disaster, or it causes disasters with every step, which like a magma volcano titan, yeah, it would kinda do that. Worst is the worst. How do you even pronounce the no symbol? Oh, it's Scandinavian. Norwegian especially. Notably, the Norwegian word for worst is just verst. So throw in the as in their word for froze or snow, froze, and snø, and there you go. Also, vord means esteem or respect, high regard, fitting for an all-powerful ice golem. And lastly, Chalchiu, a water elemental made of a bubble water orb and some whirlpools. And oh boy, we had to finish with an easy one, didn't we? That's sarcasm. Where do I even begin to try breaking this down? Normally, I at least have an idea at the start. Oh, it's the Aztec god of water, pronounced Chalchiuhtlicue. So okay, that's neat, that's fine. So, that is all of the Coromon so far, and like most Pokemon-like monster collecting games, they are a mixed bag. There's some really cool ones, but plenty of, generics as well. I feel like there's just way too many just blobs and slimes and elementals. There's just too many of them. But Ginks, Mudma, Darikara, and Chonktoad all make up for it. Which are your favorites? And what do you think of the game if you've played it? Let me know down below, and until next time, never stop using your noggin.